Zara, this is Mahesh Kumar. This is class number 7. So today we are just going to start project management. Some of the advanced features, advanced things we just going to today read it. All in all, we can say that what is a project management is basically project management is a discipline of initiating, planning, executing, controlling, and closing the work of a team to achieve specific goals and meet specific success criteria at a specified time. Okay, so in this definitions we can see that the project management is very unique, and it is required some discipline of initiating any project. We will require some planning part. We require to execute the plans as our expectations, and once the plans are gonna working, then we require some controlling and monitoring. Okay, and then after we have done all sort of things, and then they will closing. Any project we have a starting date and end date, and we have to work as a discipline sort of thing, so that the project will be done on time. Okay, and this is the project, right? We can achieve from the specific with the help of some resources. So we have to build up a team, and we have specific goals. Okay, and meet the specific success criteria and specified on time. So these are some basic fundamentals about the project management definitions from the Wikipedia's I have just created for you. Okay. Another question is, what is project management and how this looks like, and what things we need to be take care in the different steps. Okay. So we can say that the project management is basically step by step process. Okay. Once you've done one step, then you have to go for second step, third step, fourth step, five step, sort of things. But as we compared about some different project management, things like Prince 2 project in control environment. So it is a basically methodology sort of things, like where in the Prince 2 we have 7 processes, 7 themes, and 7 principles, right? So we have to
Mhm.
study all sort of things of 7 principles, 7 processes, and 7 themes, and we have some tailoring into the project management as well. So we can say that in the project management, most of the work, we are done, in the long term in project. Okay, sometimes it is also applicable on the short term project as well. But most of the times, the project management have the plans of 5 years, 10 years, and more than that sort of things. Projects is going on, and any project managers can be work on different project simultaneously. But the matter of fact that what type of resources, what type of allocation of things, and entails in many different tasks at the same time. But as we compared with the Prince 2 environment is basically we can say that it's a temporary sort of a project, right? Suppose you
Mhm.
have to you organize an event, right? So we can say that you can go for the Prince 2 is the right approach for you. Okay, and if you are in a manufacturing or production or or healthcare department sort of things, and then we require some project management skills, right? So
Mhm.
we in the first if you have seen in the first things, project conception and initiation step is first there. So we just want to create a project charters, and project initiation is the first steps. We already studied too much about how can we, what are the things are required in the first step of initiation of a project. So project charters, so all the informations about your budgeting, costing, risk management, each and every very, it's not descriptive, but we can say that the all things are mentioned in the project charters. Okay, and project initiations we required some also stakeholder investment sort of plans. So who's going to invest money, and what is the company vision and power of the stakeholder. So each and everything we need to be take care in the first step of the project initiations, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so the second set of project definitions and planning. So the project planning is required. So the scope of the project and the budget allocations of the particular project management. Okay, and the second thing is like breakdown of schedules. We can do WBS structures. We have different work packages available. Like we have some productions work available. We have some purchase procurement sort of things. So we have to go for some IT infrastructures building. We have to go for resource allocations, management sort of things. So we have different works available. So we can say that work packages is available. so work packages, and then we have to provide specific tasks to the different resources, and then you have to count the what are the activities need to be performed by the specific resources same time. So as per the resources are doing it, you just go for the PRA KPI sort of things, you can do it later on. Okay, so we can also schedule same time. So what is the schedules of the person going to do it? And Gantt chart is also we are going to use it in the MS Visio sort of MS project. Basically, it's a Microsoft what tool. So where we will going to use it once we have done all sort of concept and logical things are already done. Once you understand all the logics and concepts of the project management and you have good idea about all things, then we can go for some practical aspect as well. And the other one is the communications plan. So we have some different communications plans you need to be create, whether it is a email communications, whether it is a formal informal communications, or how to deal with the resources as a communications part. So we'll just talking later on the sort of things. And risk management, we already studied about what type of risk is there, this quantity risk and quality risk sort of things. And uh, if, if and we can say that how can you mitigate the risk, how will you accept the risk, and how can you ensure the risk basically of the company, of the company. So that is the risk management with things we just want to do it. And project launch or execution phase, so it's we can say that it's the execution phase. Once we have planning all things, and then we have to go for some execution things. So status and tracking, so we require some different sort of tools and techniques to handle those things like execution. So tracking tools like we can say Jira and the Confluence. Okay, and we have some remedy tools. Okay, and we can do a number of tools we can use it in the execution space. We will talk later on once we're going for practical things. And KPIs, or key performance indicators. So what are the performance criteria you have to apply on the particular resources? So that sort of things you need to be execute at the same time. And what type of quality you are expecting, what type of what TQM, what type of what charts and what things you will be applied on your quality management. So this is all things as there it is. And forecast. So what type of forecasting is what presumptions you can assume on the execution phase for the next steps. So, right. And another one is project performance and control. So what are the objectives of what and the performance checking it out, and what you're going to do it, how to do it, when to do it, all sort of things are in just particular and control and performance phase. And quality deliverables also. So what type of quality you can gonna provide to the customers, and customers has different changes requirement all the time. So you can provide some quality work to the different customers. Efforts and cost tracking. So it is also required because once you started your project, so there are number of cost and lots of efforts are what are done by the different resources at the same time. So that how can you track? So we required some tools and techniques to doing it. So MS Visio, MS projects, we can gonna use it. So what effort and costing sort of things to measure it, and we have some different tools as well. Okay, and the performance is also is measured over there. So what type of resource is going to work at the same time on the different tasks. So it is also one of the most important things you need to be take care at the same time. And the project closing same time. So post mortem. So what happened, what sort of documentations you have to going through it. And project pun, punish list. So we can how the project is to be ended, and what type of agreements, SLAs. Yeah, all the things will be available same time. So you can provide to the operations team that this is the project is ended, and these are the some most important things like the quality of the products and warranties of the different procurement which you have done it your company. And all sort of etc. We can say that. So and the reporting, how can you reporting different stakeholders once we done the thing. So this is also the mandatory things we can put on to it to the project management, right? So roles in project management. So we have different rules have to be played at the same time into the project manager. So product manager, service manager, product quality managers, process management analyst, sponsors, team, stakeholders, days, and foundation manager and portfolio manager, project manager. and the program manager. So these are some different you know what things available as a project managers he need to do and the different roles at the same time. Okay, so the project management process group. So we have some different groups is there. So process groups is first thing, like initiating. So what type of things need to be initiative? So what are the authorize the work, and the key output is project charters and stakeholders register. So this is the initiating phase. We already done it. So we have some documentations in the initial stage. Okay, as this is the project manager going to do it, and second phase is planning and executing phase. So we have to plan the work and the work the plan and project plans and related artifacts like scope, team, cost, schedule, risk, change, performance, issue logs, data, and reports. These are some different things we need to doing in the planning part basically. Okay, so in the planning part, you have to find out the scope. Once we're going to start any project, so first of all, we need to understand is the scope is available or not available of the particular product or manufacturing or whatever the things you're going to do it perform in the project management, right? And then we need to find out the teams who's gonna work on the particular project, okay, and how much could the cost is involved into the project, okay. So the cost allocations, cost management is the same time it comes to the picture. And schedule, we have to schedule that what type of different arts need to be work on the resources. And the risk management, we also take care on this. And the change management, okay, if the change is required and who's going to change it, what are the documentation required, and is the new version controlling sort of things, or what type of things is required on the change management side. And the performance issues and different things need to be take care of it. And every the planning phase, we can say that we have most of the times we are going to do it in the documentations and approval authority, different ideas, brainstorming sessions, one-to-one sessions. And we have to aware about the costing part, schedule part, risk part, management part. Each and everything need to be taking lots of time of the project, okay. Once you're creating your building, okay, so we require some good architecture of your building, okay. So good blueprint will always help to you to create a beautiful building all the time, right? So that is why the planning and executing is the most important phase of any project, because most of the projects are failed just because of we are assuming, or we can presumption of the wrong planning and executing things, right? Suppose the most of the project managers are going to, the scope of the project is is not wrongly assumptions, okay. And the cost part and schedule part. And sometimes we as a project managers, they can't understand the risk is all about what type of risk is there to doing the things, right? So it is mandatory for any project managers to work learning from the experience of the past. And he have at least 5 years experience exposure on the particular project, and he can be delivered later on the what type of projects are required by the customers. And another part is monitoring and controlling.
Hello,
So yes.
I can't hear you.
Okay, so monitoring and controlling is another phase. Is basically so control the plan, track, and review. So that change logs, approved customer request, work performance, cost forecast, quality control, schedule, forecast, verified deliverables, accepted deliverables. So in the monitoring and controlling phase, whatever the planning we have done it right in the project management second phase. Okay, so this is the time to executing the things. And also we have to what monitoring and controlling, how can we control the things, right? Suppose the cost is going to higher and higher all the time. So how can we control the things, okay? And sometimes the how can we doing the quality control, okay? If any company creating a 100 number of units in a one day, but the quality is not perfect as per the customer feedback, so there is no use of it to produce a high number of units all the time. We can produce a less number of units, but we require some quality products all the time. So the customer feedback is good, and then it is added in our profit. Okay, this is also mandatory. And how can we, track of the resources same time, and how can we can be verify the deliverables, whatever that we can want to provide to different teams. So all the customers as well. So deliverables is also important. Quality control, cost forecast, performance, works, okay, approved customer request, okay, and change log. So this is all things are are the part of the monitoring and controlling. So the it is required is because of if the things are executed in the different activities are going in your projects, okay. So we required to how can we control the things all the time. Suppose if it is going in the right direction or it's a wrong direction, okay. So as a project manager you need to be as a working the right direction of your projects all the time. It's mandatory things you can be performed there. So closing is conclude and hand off the final product service or the result, and that's why the purpose of project close procurement, formal signature of the acceptance. So once ended the project, the first things basically what type of result it is providing with the customer of the particular project, okay. Does it completed on the time schedule? Does it is complete with the quality expected of the customers? And once it is as per the expected quality and as per the time schedule, as per the cost, then you can go for the formal acceptance of from the customer side. On written basis, on we have some agreements with the client side, and we have to meet the client side all the times. We have to visit client side. Then issues happen and we have to make some changes in our existing project sometimes. These things are working all the time, okay. So as a customers you need to be very they will ask you expect things at any time for all sort of things, but as a project managers you need to be fulfill the request of the customers at any point of time, what the expectations, and you need to be the plans and what execution things will be approved by the board of directors same time. So discussions, everything's meetings is going on. This is the work areas of the project managers. So it's all about. So a typical agile approach is basically, so agile approach comes to the picture is they have just because of project started and with iteration one, iteration two, iteration three, iteration four, and project ended. So we have some changes, first modules, second changes, third changes, four changes, and implementation and developer testing. So first of all, in the iteration detail is design and analysis, QA acceptance and testing, and the deployment, the evaluation, authorizations, and detailed requirements, okay. So these are the what all the times we need to be working like this particular model, that detailed requirements we required, and we have to design analysis, we need to do it, and quality acceptance and testing so we can do it, and deployment if once it is deployed and what type of result it is getting, and evaluate the prioritizing things is all the time. So agile approach basically changes all the time from the customers who need to be changes the existing things, and they need to be complete the project on the time as well.
So
So
number of iteration is always four in a project, or it can be different, like depending upon how big the project is.
yeah, it can be different because it's example of what IT industry. So design analysis and QA, quality analysis and acceptance, deployment. So but if you are in the manufacturing or automobile industry, so iteration can be changed at any point of time, and number
No,
of iterations.
iteration can be changed, but a number of iteration are there just four in each project, or they can be more than four?
More than that, more than that.
Okay.
Okay, so why do I need to understand the project management? Just because of project and program management is ever so crucial today in the digital age. Okay, cycles to build out of the aggressively short stakeholders complexity, system complexity, technology innovations, transformations need to be reach customers fast before the competitions without mistakes. So consumers don't forget mistakes easily, right? So suppose you just providing some uh, faulty automobiles cars selling to the to the customers, right? So customers then they don't forget the mistakes from your company basically. So say they what their references from the customer, and it is lost your brand name at the same time, right? So it is more important, as a project management you need to provide the very good products or quality products to them customers, okay, and take the feedback of the customer same time, and then you can provide make the changes, make the iteration, and then again provide the same sort of things, right? So you need to be fulfill the what expectation of the customers all the time, okay. It is basically we say, take an example of what sort of you are in the IT project, so we have to all the time we need to what meeting with the clients over the phones, over the meeting side, or the Teams or Skype for business sort of things, and they will make a changes, make a note of it, and then you have to apply all the all sort of things to the project, and you gathering the team resources same time, and just what present the idea, what the idea of the customers, and then they will gonna work on the same sort of thing. So these things are what going again and again as you're in the project management. So are these projects so planning a vacations? Okay, they're getting a house and gets admission to the school. So are this a project or not? What do you think?
Come again?
So planning a vacation is a project or not?
It is a project, yeah.
Okay, and relocating a house and kids admission to the school. So does it
They
this
are all
project?
projects. Yes.
So it's a small sort of project. We can say that we have some specific time, right? Why it
Yes,
is project?
specific
Because
time.
we have
Yeah.
specific time. Okay,
Hmm.
we have some cost involved same time, and we
Hmm.
have some risks also available same time.
Yeah.
Okay,
Things can
so
go wrong in any shape and form.
yes. So where we have some specific time limit is available, start date, end date, and
Hmm.
all this one is unique in nature. Okay,
Hmm.
and we know we have some risks available all the time. If we're going to vacations, we have some risks there. We are locating a house, it's also risk is there. Admission of the kids is also a risk. Okay, so we these are the some qualities of the project. How can we say that it's a project, or how can we say it's a operations? Okay, so operation is ongoing. Things are working ongoing right now in any project, right? And you are the part of the operations team where things are going on, right? But in the project we have some starting end date, risk is there, scope is there, everything is there. So we can say that it's a sort of project, we can say that. Okay, so what is project management is your perspective scope. What's the objective you intended to achieve on vacation, right? Scope, the cost budget you set aside of your vacations, and time days that you have intended to spend to the vacations. Phases, probable phases for the plan for the vacations, pre-vacations, vacation, and post-vacations. Okay, so once you are in the project management, right? First of all, you need to create a phases. First phase, what the activities, second phase, what are the activities, or phase 3, what are the activities, what are the risk, what are the scope, and what is the risk in the particular phases. So you have to break the vacation in different parts. Okay, pre vacations, vacation, and post vacations. So all things, what are different risk is there, different scope is there, and time is there on the different things. So you can allocate the different resources. So it's example sort of things, but you are working in a project, so same sort of approach you need to be doing at the same time. Okay, the second example we were to go for it. So in the second example, what is project management? So the scope. Okay, what's the objective you intended to achieve in occasions, cost budget on the same sort of occasions, and the vacations is all there. So what would you do before going to vacations? Decide place to you want to visit, budget, no number of days you have to package simultaneously. If you want to take a package, you will be take hotel bookings on dependencies. So these sort of planning vacations, you can gonna do it. So same things also applied once you are in the project management, right? So first phase, this one happened. Second phase, third phase. So before we starting on any project, what are the equities of the project management, right? Suppose you are going to do a automobiles project, so what is the things need to be take care before you're going to implement any automobiles project? So we require place, we require raw materials, we require transportations, we required resources, we required water, we required some different things. You can just say that. Okay, for the pre planning. And once you are once you are in the planning phase, then what the things, the scope management, what are the scope of the automobiles? Can we go ahead with automobiles industry, or can we go ahead some production industry, or can we go ahead some IT industry sort of things? So what is the scope of the particular area, or the country, we can say that. So as a project managers need to be identify the scope. You need to identify the risk is all about. What are the risks? What are the legal tenders? What are the different things are happen? Environmental conditions. Okay, different things is there in different countries. So you can decide what things need to be applied, and where can we apply all sort of things. So this is the phases that we are just talking about. Mm, and this, why do I need to understand project management? Another question is this. So your role may be that of a developer, engineer, team lead, but if you don't understand the various aspects of the project management, you will not be able to call out. So your daily plan and status, risks, dependencies on the other tracks, issues, assumptions you make. So it is fair to assume that your project managers will know a lot about client expectations, client reporting, etc. But she will not be able to highlight a technology risk you encounter while you you develop code and integrate with another vendor's code base. So know how to articulate such issues. Risk dependencies will help you to your clients, your organizations, and your growth by preventing a failure in the last phase where it will be cost you all. And sometimes even a bad reputations with clients, a project manager is the captain who stares at the transformations, innovations in the digital age with the full support of his team. Okay. So we required the project management just because of we have some, different plans, daily activities. What is the status of the project? What are the risks there? Different dependency on the different tracks. Okay, we have got some issues and different platforms. Okay, we required some assumptions. We required some procurement. We required some deliverables. We required communication sort of things. So that is why we require a project manager who can do all sort of things at one place. So, what skills and behaviors are required actually? So, uh, if you can say that the technology capabilities, the communication styles, the leadership styles, the staff argumentations, influencer on to deliver, planning, stakeholder interactions, pre-sales, empower team, and involved. So these are the some behavior sort of things you required. So you can say that what type of skills you have currently.
Mhm.
Okay, does methodology play a crucial role in the program management, tracking a program next steps, risk and assumptions, validate and I think there's some voices coming from your end. Okay, so validate and verify what has been built regularly and if possible with a different set of SMEs, involve client stakeholders in demos, validate on the test environments regularly, automate as many activities at the onset of the project, deployment and deployment of verifications, test automations testing, automate data generations and proof of concepts, build out complex and new technology components first to iron out risks, shift left of validate upfront of the reduced cost of the defects, and do not fix defects in batches without understanding the impact of one of the defect functionality over the others. Okay, so as a as a program managers, you have some different tools need to be as adopt at same time. So as a project managers, you have different rules at the same point of time. You have to meeting with the clients, we have to got some expectations, and we have to go for the costing assumption sort of things, and need to deliver the work to the different resources same time. And you have to provide the what current status of the project, how we are, when it's going to be closed, and what are the dependencies all the time. So these sort of things you need to do in your everyday life. What to look out for while planning? So digital channels, okay, customer experience identified, and five-star customer experience. So all things we required once we are into the project, right? A list of customer journeys scoped out, customers journeys current and future state detailed out of the customer's touch points and expected emotional state and the metrics. Program planning to implement customers journeys and measuring the optimize and along the way. Customer journey is independence, technology, complex and independent first, and because category adoptions measurement. So these are the some basic fundamentals we required, what for once we're going for the planning. Okay, so the planning part, once you're going to going for it, so you are project managers and some of your stakeholders and clients are available same time, so they have some different perspectives and you have some different perspectives, but at the end we need to go for the project will be delivered on time, scope is there, this is there. So you would like to be a customer, and as a project manager you would like to be on the same page, and everything should be transparent all the time. So that is the what new things is required, right? So what to look out of the while planning. So we new trends, innovative partnered with vendor for CX and scale, presence, age, and operational efficiency. So these are the some what objectives, service, and skills. This is the things required. So identify use cases in the system where the new trend can be leveraged. Okay. So we always think like that. We have to what new trends are available in the market, and how can we change the project? How can we innovate the things? How can we what out of box ideas you can things prioritize based on the business criticality. So we have to prioritize the things as for the business criticality, what which we things we need to plan first, which things plan second, and all sort of things. Plan to include quicker iterations with the proof of concept to showcase results, benefit, and predicted customers experience to stakeholders. Typically, if you are involved as the vendors of innovations would be a companion to the client and your team to validate business feasibility before plan is created for all of use cases. Okay, so an adoption stream is minimal market or rollout, minimum customers base, and the largest company is planned for pre productions in productions, marketing, rollout, and adoptions can be the tracks working in tandem. So these are the what different what planning things you can do it in your project management, right? How does different stakeholders benefit from good program management? So the good program management results in good quality of functionality to be deployed. So the clients, good quality deployment in productions, go live, happy customers, increased client business and platform engagements, increased brand equity, digital properties. My consulting product startup organizations good feedback, repeat business, and me myself manage risk for your work and your module on your team and good quality functionality. So these are the things which is required is mandatory. So career growth. So visualizing your future ahead 5 to 10 years, you will realize the perspective of your role and VP technology, principal, enterprise architect, entrepreneur technology is here to stay changed involved frequently. So if you are a project manager and you're working on the same profile for the 5 to 10 years, then you can become a vice president of technology and principal engineer and enterprise architect, entrepreneurs technology. So these are the what career growth you will get it once you are done the project management sort of things, and planning and managing the tech effectively makes technology successful in the long levels for business outcomes. So planning and executions, you're the master of that. Okay, and enterprise architect will help in create a digital enterprise roadmap. She will prioritize the estimate, identify dependency, and plan. So you are what expert in planning. You are expert in identify the sources, cost management, risk management, scope management, and that is the only things we can you can perform all things. An entrepreneur who is leveraging technology for one online business presence of retail store and retail aggregator, digital online bank, and Bitcoin trading system will need to have a more than technical skills to be successful in setting up and successful to business, taking a capitalist, sharing business plans, approaching banks for business loans, engaging the partners in the ecosystem for the business. So these are the what career growth you can got it once you are in the you have done the project management, right? So this is all about for today's things, right? So
Okay.
any questions for in this basically? What do you think
So
about it?
this particular today lecture was about as a program manager who wants to get into like project management. But what about like the person who is an operational manager and wants to get into the project management, like for manufacturing or like other industry?
Yes. The important thing is there as a project manager. One is the project manager, the other one is technical project manager,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a program manager. Okay, so the project managers who can just simply doing a project, and we see he's working on the all sort of things and 47 processes and 5 knowledge areas. Okay, so he's a
Mm-hmm.
project manager.
Okay.
And when we're talking about the technical project manager, so he has some technical things, he knows the technical things, like suppose in the manufacturing area, how the car's going to work it, how the class system is going to work it, how
Uh-huh.
how the technical aspect he know very very well. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
we can say that in the technical in the IT industry, he know the databases, how the database is going to working, what type of language are using in the databases, right? And what
Mm-hmm.
are the networking things are working on the in the IT platform, right? So
Mm-hmm.
he's know the technicalities of the project basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a technical program manager. So the salary is higher than that, and there is the most chances of growth of the technical program manager, project manager, because he know the technicalities as well as he know the management part. So most of the companies are looking for those guys who have good technical skills and also the management skills same time.
Okay.
Okay, so important thing, suppose you are going to the automobiles company, so you need, if any person is coming from what background of what automobiles engineering, he's done it, and then after that he moved to the project management, so he has a good idea about the technical things, or is worked in previous companies, and also the how to manage the things, so he can do better things, because once he managing the resources, right? So he can provide the right ideas, okay, and he can also provide a good technical aspect. Yeah, these things happen, so we can do the alternative things for sort of technical things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in the project managers, what is the manager sort of things and management sort of things, so he doesn't go for any technicalities, right? He know how to manage the customers, okay, and he know
Mm-hmm.
how to work providing task to the resources, okay, and he's the middleman, right? He's the
Okay.
middleman, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this is the what, or everything's he was once the uh, all the resources going to work on the same one activities, and then they will say that yeah, is just going, we have done it, so he's just providing what communications emails to the customers, this activity has been done, and what are the second phase, do we have to do it, or we have to go for some changes or modifications in the existing project, right? So this is the what management sort of things is going on all the time, right? You're the middleman of the
Okay.
management of the resources same time. But
Mm-hmm.
once we're talking about some technical project management, so he can also take a part of technical things once the project is going on. So it's better to as a project management, but you need to go for some technicalities as well all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so these things there, uh, and what you can do it, Zara. So we have what, first of all, try to make the 5 knowledge areas, right? You have to remember the things. It's very easy to go. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and then in the 5 knowledge areas, what are the processes are going on with the first particular areas, right? Suppose
Mm-hmm.
if I'm talking about some initial phase, so we required some project charters and required some stakeholders, right?
Uh-huh.
Investment sort of things, yes, we can understand. Then we're going for the the planning phase, right? So we have 27 what processes is there, okay. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
go to the depth that what is scope management is all about, what is the risk
Okay.
management,
Mm-hmm.
how can the human resource management going to work it, how what the procurement management is going to work it, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Go into depth, because I would like to know that, yeah, suppose I'm going to ask you a question that what is risk management is all about, okay,
Mm-hmm.
what type of risk is there, how
Mm-hmm.
can we mitigate the risk, how can we transfer the risk, what type of risk we can accept the risk, okay, what
Mm-hmm.
do we need to register a risk, so we require some risk registers, okay. So
Mm-hmm.
these sort of things, because it is important things, you need to be the concept things you need to understand very clearly, because
Okay.
once you're working in any project, right? So these are what working at the same time, because you have got a documentations, you got templates, you can got each and everything, but the concept is more important is all the time, right?
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Suppose you're just going for the procurement management, right? So procurement management, what things you understand, yeah, we have to require or at least three quotations, right? So that we can compare the quotations same time. Okay,
Yeah.
once you comparing the quotations, then we required what type of product it is and what type of warranty it is they will gonna provide, what type of services of the product. Okay, and
Hmm. Yeah.
how can you deal with the customers, how can you deal with the suppliers, what type of agreements you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Hmm.
this is the important aspect. And how can you negotiate with the customers, right? It's most important.
Hmm.
Okay, because the pricing part and the services part and on-site support, off-site support, each and everything is there in the procurement, right? Suppose you
Hmm.
are working in a automobile company, you need to purchase a raw materials from some different clients. Okay,
Hmm. Yeah.
and then you are a project manager and you have to first of all meeting with the customers. Okay, and they will provide you some, yeah, this is the costing of the product, this is the unit, and this is the type of the cost is there. Okay, then you meet some different customers same times, and then
Hmm.
you have to compare the prices on a different aspect. We suppose we have got this units in this prices, this unit is this price, and then what are the units, what are the warranties, what are the services. There's on-site services, there's off-site services. How can we manage the customers, what are the behavior of the services, and what are the follow-ups you can want to make it, and what type of resources you can align for the particular customers, what are collaborations, what are coordinations, each and everything. So this is the what procurement management you're going to work it.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the the experience things required, or you can, first of all, you can just learn the procurement management or scope management or risk management, and then you came to know that, yeah, this things happen, these things happen, and these things we can apply at same time, the different ideas. Okay, so
Okay.
that is the things you need to be take care of it. And first of all, you need to understand that what type of project we need to handle it. Okay, and which things
Hmm.
we can say project it is, and how can we go for some agile methods. Okay, how can we iteration things gonna work any project. Suppose you deliver a project to the customers, and can the customers is not going to take this project. Okay, he will not
Hmm.
taking this project. So the
Hmm.
cost is, everything is involved, so what you going to do it at the same times. Okay, so first of all,
Hmm.
you have done the first iterations, and then you go into the customers, and then check with the customers, then it's okay, this is as per your expectations, can we go ahead with the second iterations? Yes, we can go ahead. Then second iterations you can go for, then the second step gonna done it. Then ask with the customers, do you have your approvals, are you happy with the services, can we go ahead with the further things. So you get a payment from the iteration first, you can get a payment of iteration second, you can get a payment of iteration third, and you can get a payment from the customers iteration four. So this is the step by step things you can gonna make it. Okay, and at the same time, when you're going for any iteration, so first of all, the scope, the risk management, each and everything you need to be take care at the same time.
Hmm.
Okay, so this is all about, this is the key project management processes group is all about. So
Yeah.
which things we need to do where. Okay, suppose I'm going to ask you that the risk management, where we can do it. Okay, we
Hmm.
where we have to agreements where we can do it. Okay, so
Hmm.
agreement we can do it in the planning part, right? Okay,
Yeah.
of any customers, because we cannot meet the customers and we need to find out the different customers, and we have agreements is there. So how long would be how the agreements would be. Okay, and
Hmm.
suppose you are in the working in the environment, right, where the changes are more frequent manner.
Hmm.
So who's going to, what is the change management is all about, who's going to change the things, and
Hmm.
what are the process of changes.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the things you need to be understand. Yeah, this, what is change management is all about, how can we make it changes, do we require some other people to involve in the change management? Yes, we require. Okay, so who's going to
Hmm.
change it? So these things will be very helpful once we're going for the practical sort of things, and for some more few classes.
Okay.
Okay, and this is things is there, and so this is all about um,
Hmm.
so scope and budget and breakdown structures, Gantt charts, the communications, what are different type of communications is all about, and
Hmm.
also how can we measure the performance of any person, say the same thing. So this is gonna yeah, really helpful to you in the project management planning. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to send you on your email ID a specific book of VM book. Okay,
Okay.
you have just go for all the things, right? Because in
Mm-hmm.
your next classes, so that you can easily understand once we going for the further things, right? Because
Okay.
what I'm going to do, I'm just going to provide you some templates or each and everything. Okay, you got it
Mm-hmm.
as everything, but you need to be use your mind. How can I write a project charters, right? So
Mm-hmm.
modifications required, changes required, and then you can create the same things. Yes.
And you were going to send the templates for that.
Yeah, just modification in the templates and it's going to work. But the matter
Okay.
of fact that what you're going to write it down, it's important there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, because
Mm-hmm.
is this because the whatever you think you're doing. Okay, suppose you're going to create a project charter. Okay, or you
Mm-hmm.
suppose you're creating a risk management of the company. So
Mm-hmm.
as a project management, you always understand what is the vision of the company, what is the mission of the company, does it worthful for my project, its value for the money of my project, and how can they use. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a very simple way who can understand easy way.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose you will gonna demonstrate the risk management part of your project in front of the top management, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they don't understand this register is all about. They don't understand each and everything. The technical aspect they don't understand. They will understand how, if this happened, then what we're going to do it. Simple things. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose
Yep.
suppose I can say that suppose you're going to open a branch in Michigan, right? Of
Mm-hmm.
automobiles, and any earthquake, okay, any disasters happened, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
do you have to go for disaster recovery sort of plans you have? Yes, we have disaster recovery
Mm-hmm.
plans. And if anything, so we can say that any flood is coming over there, so that we have some business continuity plan as well. We have some
Mm-hmm.
secondary branch in different countries as well. So our
Mm-hmm.
business gonna run same time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that sort of plans, risk management plans you need to create, right? And
Yeah.
we can say that uh, some of the risk you can accept it. Okay, so if I'm talking about some automobiles company, right? So what type
Mm-hmm.
of risk you can, first of all, what is automobile companies about? How do you know that? What things you know about automobiles company, right? First thing is this.
Mm-hmm.
And second things, suppose somebody will ask you that in the automobiles companies what type of risk is there. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and how, what type of risk you can mitigate, reduce the risk,
Yeah.
what type of risk can be transferred. Okay, what
Mm-hmm.
type of risk can be acceptance. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so these are the questions you will be asking yourself: how, when, where, how to do it, when to do it, who's going to do it, how can I work better, things like that. Okay, so first of all, your thinking would like to be a project manager, and then you can present effectively on all ideas to the different tools and techniques like MS Visio, MS
Mm-hmm.
project is there, and different tools and techniques is there. But the idea, how do you represent a better
Mm-hmm.
way? This is the
Yeah.
good project management is all about.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because how clear your ideas. The matter of fact that because we are the project managers, we know that we have different projects are running same time, right? But the matter of fact that how clear we are on the of transparent requirement of your customers and you. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and how clear your ideas. Okay, one thing is there. Second thing, how would I represent these ideas in front of the management, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
they can easily understand your ideas.
Okay.
Okay, so they are different you know what we can say that GA and Gantt chart is one of them, breakdown structure is all of them, the
Mm-hmm.
communications plan is all of them. So these are the some different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, these are some process how can we provide your ideas in better way to in
Mm-hmm.
front of the management or in front of the customer side, so that they
Mm-hmm.
can easily understand what you're going to achieve it, what you're going to represent them. Okay, and you
Yeah.
need to understand what type of customer it is. Suppose it's a very technical customers, so you need to be working talking like a customer sort of things. Okay, suppose
Yeah.
any person in front of you as a management side, so you have to working like a management sort of things. Okay, so you have to understand, you know what, the psychologically understand the other person requirement you know what customers requirement is all about, and how
Mm-hmm.
quick you
Okay.
learning.
Mm-hmm.
If you learning the things in you know what in a short time, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
would be a good project manager because the it is very requirement that how can you assume the things, okay, and how do you forecasting the things for the future.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose right now this is the what $2 million dollars what we have to invest, okay. After 3 years, what type of investment required, because you need to appraisal of the source at the same time, okay. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the product value will be changed. You have to provide some high cost same time, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you have to forecast the costing part, you have to forecast the risk part, okay. You have to forecast the scope of the particular product, okay. Right now the scope is
Mm-hmm.
there, but after 5 years there is no scope of the particular property, okay. So then what you going to do it? So forecasting is most important is there.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So
Yeah.
these are some basic fundamentals. This is a what experience sort of things yeah, is one important in any project management is there. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
this whatever we are just talking about here and in the previous classes, these are some what fundamental concept logic. But how these things are applied on the project? This is your mind says,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And what are the tools? What are the techniques we can gonna use it? This is the ways we can represent the things.
Okay.
Okay, so what you going to do it once we going for the what next class on Thursday? So you can just create your own project, okay, of any
Okay.
domain, right?
Okay.
Of project initiations, project planning, execution, and controlling and closing. So try to create a project like this of automobiles or
Okay.
whatever domains you like it most, and then I
Okay.
will check it out. What type of things we are in your ideas? How clear your
Okay.
ideas? How do you demonstrate your ideas to your management?
Okay.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm. Okay.
that's it for the day. And
Okay.
I will also provide you the slides is also available on the project management what Google Drive, so you
Yeah.
can just check it out at any time. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I will also send you some documentation so that you can go for depth into this and then you can understand all things,
Sounds good.
right?
Yep.
So thank you for time, Zara, and take care. And
Yep.
make the things, because I would like to know what type of ideas, what type of thoughts you have about a
Okay.
specific project. Okay,
Okay.
because we already study the five, what knowledge areas and 47 processes. So on the five areas, okay, areas, okay, knowledge areas, and
Mm-hmm.
47 process, what you understand actually, how do you
Okay.
implement all those things into the project?
Okay.
Okay, once you create all things on the spreadsheet, then we're gonna work on the some MS project tools, and then
Okay.
I would like to understand. Yeah, these things happen. This one, these things can represent. How do better the presentations? I will tell you.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Okay then. We will like have the prepare. Like I will get everything prepared for the next
Yeah,
class then.
please. Yeah, make it so that it's really helpful to me to what you understand actually, because I will go continue as per like that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Yeah.
important is for me to how do you understand of the listeners is very important for me, okay.
So, can I talk to you like, like once you're done recording, I need to like talk to you about like my next couple of classes, but I would like you to like, stop recording.
Oh, okay, okay, wait a second, I'm just going to this one.